What did your child say in court that saved someone's life? My 4-year-old daughter Ruby was obsessed with our mailman, Eddie. Every day at exactly 2 p.m., she'd press her face against our living room window and wave frantically when he delivered our mail. Eddie always waved back and sometimes made funny faces that sent Ruby into giggles. This went on for 2 years until everything changed. Eddie was arrested and charged with stealing prescription medications from mailboxes. Several elderly residents in our apartment complex reported missing pills, heart medication, diabetes supplies, painkillers. The evidence seemed overwhelming. Eddie was the only person with master access to all the mailboxes, and when police searched his mail truck, they found a stash of various prescription bottles hidden under his seat. Eddie insisted someone had planted the substances, but who would believe a mailman over multiple victims? The stolen medications were worth thousands on the street. Eddie was facing federal charges for mail theft and substance trafficking, which carried a minimum sentence of 5 years in federal prison. The prosecutor painted Eddie as a calculated criminal who exploited his trusted position to prey on vulnerable seniors. Eddie's wife broke down in court, begging people to believe her husband's innocence. Their 3 young kids didn't understand why daddy couldn't come home. Eddie's overworked public defender seemed ready to push for a plea deal. The case looked hopeless. That's when I remembered Ruby's obsessive daily routine. She didn't just wave at Eddie. She provided running commentary on everything he did, like her own personal nature documentary. For 2 years, she'd narrated Eddie's every move while perched at that window. I contacted Eddie's lawyer about Ruby's detailed observations. He was desperate and skeptical, but agreed to let her testify as a character witness. The day of Ruby's testimony, the courtroom was packed. Ruby walked to the witness box, clutching her favorite toy mail truck, looking tiny in the oversized chair. The judge had to lower the microphone to her level. Eddie's lawyer knelt down to Ruby's eye level. Ruby, you watch Eddie deliver mail every day, right? Ruby nodded solemnly. Every single day at 2 o'clock. Eddie's my friend. What exactly do you see Eddie do with the mailboxes? Ruby's face grew serious, like she was sharing important grown-up information. Eddie never opens the mailboxes. He only puts mail in, never takes mail out. That's the rule. How can you be so sure? Because I watch everything. Eddie only touches the little mail slot part. He slides letters.
My regular coffee shop kept giving me free drinks, but why did the barista start crying when I finally asked her name? I've been going to Brew and Bean every single morning for 2 years. Same exact routine. 7:30 a.m. sharp, large iced coffee with oat milk and an extra shot of espresso. The barista with the bright purple hair, nose ring, and vintage band t-shirts always smiled this weird, knowing smile, but never charged me full price. At first, I thought she was just being nice to regulars. Maybe the register was glitchy, or she was hooking up customers she liked, but it kept happening, even when other employees were working their shifts. She'd punch in some buttons, glance around nervously, then tell me a price that was always exactly half what it should be. Other customers would pay $6 for the same drink I got for $3. I'm not complaining about saving money, but it felt strange, like there was some inside joke I wasn't getting. Last month, things got significantly weirder. I noticed she'd write Emma on my cup in careful handwriting, even though I'd never told her my name. When I asked how she knew, she just shrugged awkwardly and said, "Lucky guess," while avoiding eye contact completely. Then things got weird. She'd have my exact order ready before I walked in. She somehow knew I was lactose intolerant and switched to oat milk without me saying a word. Even the cup handle was always turned for my left hand. Mondays? Less sweet. Like she knew I was hungover from the weekend. It was like she knew me better than I knew myself, and I'd never told her a thing. One hectic morning, I rushed in late for a big presentation. She'd already made my drink with an extra shot and a motivational note on the cup. When I asked how she knew, she just said she was good at reading energy. She'd watch me leave through the cafe window. Not creepy, just sad, like she knew something I didn't. Whenever I caught her staring, she'd quickly pretend to clean or restock pastries. My coworkers at the marketing firm started joking that I had a stalker barista who was obsessed with me. "Emma thinks you're cute," they'd tease during our morning meetings, but something about her attention felt different than romantic interest. It felt